Finding a quiet place, closing your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're going to be shielding ourselves, our energies, our inner child from judgment and criticism. This judgment and criticism can be coming from others outside of us, or it can be coming from our own mind, our own caretaker, being judgmental, harsh, or critical with your voice, with your dialogue, with your self-talk, harming your inner child, cutting down its confidence and keeping it from being able to grow tall and strong. We're going to begin putting up a shield around your little confidence plant. I want you to see in your mind now, see your inner child. See this part of you as your purest, truest form of you. And this part of you, if allowed room, if allowed a nurturing, loving environment, will express itself to the world in the most original, beautiful way. And this part of you wants to express itself to the world. But some things may have entered into its space, into the space around it that is supposed to be nurturing and loving. And these things are the judgment and criticism of other people who may not approve of its original expression. The people around you may not understand how your inner child wants to express itself to the world. Those around you may be afraid of the way you express. They may also be envious or jealous of your expression, and for whatever reason have decided to attempt to suppress you, to cut you down with their words, with their actions, with the way that they look at you, with the way that they treat you or punish you. And now it's time to remove all of that out and off of your little inner child. These things may have been collecting since early childhood, from as far back as you can remember. And when people throw these judgments and criticisms your way, it is like throwing rocks or stones at your inner child. They're throwing these rocks or stones for whatever reason, out of fear, out of jealousy, out of hate, out of their own insecurity. They throw these judgments and these criticisms into your space. We can't stop their reaction to who your inner child is, but we can stop allowing these stones to reach you, allowing them to hurt you, allowing them to stop you from being who you are, from being safe to express, to being safe to exploring who you are. Right now, I want you to look at your inner child and see how your inner child has been wounded in the past. From these stones and rocks getting through because your caretaker didn't know how to shield it, didn't know how to protect it. So you may have some wounds there from this judgment and criticism. Allow yourself time for your inner child to explain to you or to bring up any memories where they were hurt, where they were suppressed, where they were wounded by the judgment and criticism of other people. And now see yourself stepping in as the caretaker to care for this inner child with these wounds, as if they have cuts and bruises from being hit with these rocks. See yourself begin to clean their wounds, nurture them, hug them, put band-aids over their cuts, offer them a safe space of love to begin to heal from these pains of the past. And now I want you to let the inner child know that you're here now, that you understand what is happening. You understand that the thoughts of others, that just because they think these things and say these things about you, does not make them true. Even if you respect this person, everyone is attached to a mind who can be jealous, who could be threatened, who could be insecure. We never know why people say the things that they say or do the things that they do. So just because they say it, no matter who they are, does not make it true. And let your inner child know that from here on out, you will help decide what is true about you and what is not. And it knows the truth of you. It knows what you would do. It knows what you wouldn't do. And those things that you do that you wish you didn't do, that the two of you will work on that together to change that. But that is between you and the inner child. That is not for someone else to tell you through a judgment or a criticism. It's not for someone else to throw rocks at you and hurt you with their words. And that you as the caretaker will stand and shield them, shield your inner child from any judgment or criticism, that you are growing stronger in that role. You are growing strong enough to say, I'm not going to let that through. I'm not going to let that judgment through to touch my inner child. I'm not going to let those words, that criticism, that thought, because I don't know what's up with your mind. I don't know what's up with the mind of the other person who would say such a thing. I don't know what you're going through personally. So I'm definitely not going to let you near my inner child. I decide what comes in to our space. I decide what thoughts, what words come near my inner child. I don't accept just any words as truth. Whatever I accept as truth is the same as me opening the door to my inner child. And I'm going to be very, very careful and very selective with what I allow into my mental space, into my inner child, by accepting it as a truth. I will question everything that comes from another mind. And I will also be careful with my own words as the caretaker. I will be careful what I speak, what I whisper into the space of the inner child. I will be careful not to attack it, not to call it names, not to judge it, not to label it, not to criticize it. I will be very careful to speak words of kindness and love and patience and tolerance, and know that no, it is not perfect, And that, yes, there will be things that you will need to work with the inner child to change. The inner child may have some bad mental habits, and that's okay. But that is not reason for you to tear that part of you down. That is reason for you to love that part of you even more, because it needs guidance, it needs love, it needs nurturing. And you will give that to it personally and by acting as its filter, its shield against the minds of other people.